The last chapter, there's another little kick in the head. So here's the graph. Everything we've studied so far is the pink part. I'm on page 194. Chapters 1 to 5 is the pink part. The mechanics of speaking, innuendo, la 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 la. 80%, a lot of them argue, 80% of your message, face-to-face, is body language, tone of voice, gestures. So that sort of dwarfs, grammar would be a speck in that, somewhere in that pink thing, a speck. So, it's tragic, really, that we're so caught up in it without giving it its perspective. It's important to a point for one skill. So here we go. The three parts of body language that I like to talk about are notes. So there's notes, 3 notes. And you can write it out as music. So important words are high notes. We talked about that a little bit. Grammar words and schwa are in the middle register, and they're neutral notes. And then there's one note that's very low, and it's period. It means I finished talking. And the example for this is the little kid who has had some excitement outside, and he's, Mommy, and I fell on my skateboard, and then I went, and the big guy, and he, and I went, and you cannot interrupt. That's the convention. That's the pattern. You have to wait till the kid finishes, and he finishes with, and I fell down. And when that note goes down there, then it's your turn to talk. So it goes in. I have to go to the store. I have to get some milk, bread, eggs, corn, beer, chocolate, and chips. And then you're done. So Spanish speakers don't have this note. So they keep going, they have 2 notes. And they keep going like that. Where are you from? Colombia? It sounds like they don't know. It sounds like they're not sure. Because up note means something. It means question or unsure. So they need this, the 3rd note, the finish note, to show conviction. I'm sure. I know what I'm talking about. You can listen to me. You can count on me. Me. It has a function. That tone. And if they don't have it, you got to teach it to them. I teach it to them in row, row, row your boat. Because the note is row. Row, row, row your boat. Like that. And we do the round and all that stuff. And if they get to the end of the sentence, what's your name? Pablo? No, it isn't. Row. I go, row. And he goes, Pablo. You go, that's right. But for just an isolated sound, they almost can't, but they can do it inside of music. So there's notes. You already know about yes, no question. When it finishes high, that means coffee. That means answer me yes or no. Tone of voice and expressions go together. And when they don't go together, that creates sarcasm. So words are inherently good words, neutral words, or bad words. So a word like table is in the middle register. There's no emotional charge to it. A word like party is automatically high. Party, money, well, I don't know, fantastic. How was the party? Fantastic. You go, oh, what's the matter? Or when you're in the hall and you say, how are you? And they go, fine. Then you say, what's wrong? What happened? Mm-hmm. So the message something's wrong is not in the words at all, it's in what you said. And there's almost no way to say some of these words, well, what's the matter? He has cancer. He never has cancer. He's got cancer. He never has cancer. He has cancer. It's bad. It's a bad thing. And when you mix them up, it's the tone of voice far outweighs anything that you say. Hi, honey. How was your day? Fine. It doesn't matter what you say. It matters how you say it. Low, bad. High, good. There's a really fun exercise in there on page 201. And it's convey your emotions using how you feel about something, using your tone of voice. And there's a scale there. Wonderful wedding. So you ask the men. I'd like to break them into men and women. And you ask the men to say wedding, and they go wedding. You ask women to say wedding, they go wedding. Or baby. Baby. Men go baby. Canadians mirror the tone of voice that they meet. Sit in Tim Hortons one day, and somebody will go up and say, I'll have a large double-double and a chocolate donut. And the server puts it together and she goes, here you go. Takes the money, whatever. And the next one comes in and she goes, oh, I want a hot chocolate, I want, I don't know, half a dozen donuts, like that. And the server goes, here you go. And that's what we do. It's a Canadian convention. So when I ask students, how do you find Canadians, warm or cold? Because we think we're all polite and warm and all that stuff, but some students, their experience of us is cold. And then I say, raise your voice. Talk in a different register. Say hi to someone and see if they warm up for you, because they're just saying back what they get. Amazing?
That's interesting.
Yeah, hot stuff for them
I didn't
to know.
that.
Yeah, awesome. There's a good one.
Yeah.
Awesome. Everything's awesome in Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they can reread that Cry Wolf. Now there's
Yeah.
a story. That's and there's little exclamation marks, and it's an opportunity to get some inflection inside of their voice because it's missing. And I think it's Arabic, but I could be wrong. Might even be Indian. When they talk really quickly, don't raise their eyes, and don't include any inflection, they're showing you their education. That's valued in their culture, and they're showing you how educated they are, that they've learned to speak this way. So we want to undo everything. So that's quite a challenge. That's quite an affront when everything that they've learned to convey a certain message is doing the opposite here. And it's 1, 2, and that's it. If I hang on longer, that's just weird. If I hang on shorter, that's weird. You can look in somebody's eyes for 2.5 seconds, and if you do it longer, it's weird, and if you do it shorter, it's weird.
2.5 seconds.
And we have a 2.5 second rule for silence as well. So if you say, what's the capital of France? And somebody doesn't answer you in 2.5 seconds, you repeat it louder and slower. France, France, what's the capital of France? They're just thinking. They're just thinking. North Americans, intolerance. We have to watch our intolerance for silence. Especially other cultures who have tremendous tolerance for silence, and they're quite still. Asian cultures are quite still. They tolerate long silences, and they have a huge space for personal space. So North American personal space is the length of 2 forearms for a shake. Asian personal space is much bigger, or they'll smack heads. Their space is that bigger. And my wonderful Colombian friend, their personal space is 0. They just run right up to you and kiss you. They don't even know you. Kiss, kiss, right? This is fine for North Americans because we are in the middle and we have tremendous flexibility for both sides. But when you get the Asian guy and the Colombian guy, and they meet, and the Colombian guy goes in for a big kiss, and the Asian guy's backing up and crazy, and both of them think the other one's crazy. That's their interpretation. This crazy guy, he was like coming right at me, I don't know what his problem was, right? Or, I'm just saying hello, and the guy backs up, he goes out the door. It's too big a gap in between.